Hello bandits. With thanks to the folks at Recognition and Freedom Games, I've been taking a look at World Turtles. World Turtles is another early access title, sinking its beak into the management genre. You'll control a small tribe of meeps aiming to grow your territory on the back of a galactic star turtle. To do so, you'll need to closely manage resources and people, as well as ensuring you feed and care for the turtle itself. Feeding can also help you steer the turtle along the cosmic map, sometimes avoiding some otherwise negative effects such as snow comets. You'll use a rather compact build menu, and rather than just building and leaving them to it, it's important that you balance work types against research and leisure time for your meeps. Doing this effectively will give you surplus food, housing, health and order, which will in turn attract more outside meeps to join your tribe and allow you to explore and expand further. World Turtles isn't yet rated by PEGI or the ESRB, but it is one where we've not come across any troubling content at the moment. As ever, it is worth considering that the early access nature means that anything could be added, but it would be a bit of a shock if there was anything in here at launch, which meant we'd keep it away from our micro bandits due to content. In terms of accessibility, World Turtles is a fairly laid-back title. Rather than failing with a city collapsing around you, mismanagement mostly means that your territory and meeps just slow or stop developing, and for the most part it can be quite fixable. However, to keep growing there is a lot of micromanaging you'll need to do, especially as territory grows and your meep numbers expand. I'm a little on the fence for accessibility overall, but verging on the side of low barrier at this early access stage. And on to the rundown, our 5-point early access review for World Turtles. As ever, due to the early access nature, we're not giving final scores just at the moment. As it stands, gameplay for the title has been a little hit and miss. Tutorials give you the very basics of the game, but could certainly be expanded upon to give you more information, especially when it comes to different building types. In addition, there have been a number of times where we've really struggled to find space for new buildings, which has dragged expansion to a halt in a bit of a vicious circle. There are some really great concepts here within the gameplay, and while it's not hooked me in currently, it is one that I'll be following with interest throughout the early access period. At the moment, visuals are certainly lacking for World Turtles, especially within the UI and close-up on the map. Sadly, this also doesn't help gameplay currently, making things a little harder to work out as you play through the title. Fortunately, the developer does look to be enlisting UX and UI specialists, and so we do expect this to improve in the coming weeks or months closer to launch. The audio in the title is quaint and laid back, and it does work very well in the setting. The only slight annoyance for me is the pop-ups for artist name and track whenever tunes change, which is fairly front and centre in terms of screen real estate and can be quite distracting. The spoken dialogue is surprisingly nice when compared to the visuals, and the soundtrack ties things together nicely for a fairly relaxing experience most of the time. We would also like to see a little more narrative in the title as we move towards launch, especially as a single player title. Fingers crossed that picks up a little while down the line. Replay is fairly middling at this point, with 3 map sizes and 4 challenge modes. There is also a custom map generator and a full map maker where you design every aspect of the terrain yourself. However, we have found this to be a little too time intensive, and it can take a little of the joy out of then playing the map. Again, we note that there is a campaign mode planned for the title, which will really help replay and narrative scores closer to release. Overall, World Turtles is on a little rocky ground for us here at the moment. It's clear that the title has some great concepts, and there's a lot of potential here as development continues. It is certainly an early access title, so it's only to be expected that there will be some work needed. While it's one I'll likely put down for the moment, I'm definitely going to be checking back at regular intervals prior to release. It's certainly clear that the developer has a huge passion for the title, and while it does need work, we don't doubt that it will see it over the coming weeks and months. It's not ticking all of our boxes to date, but we are very excited to see it'll live up to expectations closer to launch. And that's all we've got for you today. Check out the extended review at pixelbandits.org for more information on this one. If you found this helpful, a like, comment, share or follow might not cost you anything, but it really goes a long way to helping Pixel Bandits remain ad-free and independent. Either way, we hope to see you again very soon. Thanks for watching.